What I want to show you here is a moving bed and a moving bed filter, and it's also a tide machine. It makes a tide in my little pond, about a 25-gallon tide every time it flushes. What powers this thing is this Aquaclear 5000 power head. Flows 900 gallons per hour, and it's got a homemade filter on it, made from Home Depot PVC, just some plumbing and a piece of 3-inch pipe. I normally slip a Magnum 350 filter over this, but I just took it off now. But it actually has sponges inside, which act as a filter also. And that pumps up to here into this tank. These are the tanks you can buy on Craigslist for approximately 20 bucks a piece. All you need is a 2-inch outlet and an inlet for your pump. I'd recommend a 1,000-gallon per hour pump for this tank here, for a 55-gallon tank. And you'll see the levels getting higher and higher. And pretty soon that's going to flush like a toilet. This is an electrical conduit here. And if you want, you can come straight out and use 90-degree PVC. That will actually start the siphon faster with the 90 degrees because it's more turbulence inside and it blows the air out faster. Okay, this thing's getting ready to burp its air out, and it's going to flush into the tank on the right. And it actually gives me about a 3/4 inch tide up and down in the tank on the right. And also the large discharge of water stirs any debris up on the bottom so the filters can pick it up, which in turn helps keep the water pretty clear. There you go, you see the K3 media, 2 cubic feet moving around this tank. 2 cubic feet I think is actually a little too much. It needs a bigger tank for 2 cubic feet. But once it starts to sink, it should be fine. Okay, you see the fitting on the right. The hose on the right starting to blow some air bubbles out. And when it does, it's going to flush. Let me get a little lower so you can see it. The tank on the left is still filling up, and the air is spitting out the right. Once enough air spits out the right-hand side, this thing is going to flush like a toilet. And it should go in about 5 seconds. There it goes. You can hear it. It just blasted off. Now the tank on the left is rapidly dumping into the tank on the right. And the fish are having fun playing in the bubbles and the turbulence. And once the tank on the left gets to a certain point, it's going to start this whole cycle over automatically with no moving parts. Okay, the tank on the left is just about stopped flushing. Let me shut this pump off so you guys can see exactly what's going on here in this tank. Let me pull this pipe off. Nothing's glued in here. Everything's just stuck together by hand. It's a tight enough fit. These are the holes right here that stop the siphon. And these are the holes that return the tank water from the bottom of the blue tank to the tank on the right. That's just a 3-inch, a 2-inch plug from Home Depot in the end of the cap. So as you see here, the holes in this pipe are about 3 inches above the level in the tank on the right hand side. That when the water rushes through, that sucks air and back into this top pipe, which stops the siphon. And it's important to do this, that you don't use a drain on the bottom and the outside, because it won't work. The pipe needs to go inside the tank. And the media gradually circulates by itself as it's in this tank. Once it starts to sink, it should automatically circulate, but every time this tank moves up and down, it's about 35% of the media revolves and gets washed off again. So, next one, the 900-gallon top back down, and the process will repeat. And like I said, this one here, this type of pipe, if you use this 2-inch, this tank is going to get a lot more full before it can burp the air out, because the water flows smoothly through the bottom and it gets a big air pocket trapped in it. So the tank is going to be a lot higher here before it starts to blow out. Now if you go with a 90 degrees, straight 90, once it hits the 90 degrees, there's a lot of turbulence, so it catches the air and shoots the air out faster. So this right here will take about 20 seconds, 30 seconds longer to start the siphon than just a 90 degree elbow pipe. So if you want it to cycle faster, put your 90 degree pipe in here, PVC. If you want a larger amount of water to flush each time, then use smooth elbows. You could probably use the smooth elbow from the electrical department on the inside too. Then you'll really get a big blast of water. But if that's the case, I would mount them lower in the tank just to make sure you have enough volume above them. This 350 gallon pond also has another 200 gallon tank right here and another 275 gallon tank attached to it for filtering the water. Alright, and that's that. I'm going to go ahead and put a sped up video attached to this one showing this thing in action. I took the video last night, so you'll see it from a different angle, and it still has the 90 degree pipes on it. But yeah, as you can see, the water in the pond gets pretty calm. The fish are not very active when the water's calm. They just hang out in the corner, and once the water starts moving, they get excited. And it's getting ready, the tank's getting ready to fill up again. Let's see. So the tank goes from no movement to movement. I'll stand back a little so you get a better view of it. Alright, the level's up. It should start to spit some water out the right hand side pretty soon. Okay, we get some bubbles out the right hand side. The water's starting to flow. And if I build another one of these, I'm not going to use this right here, bulkhead fitting coming out from the side. I'll put them in through the top through one of these fittings. Okay, here we go. You want to flush again. And the media is moving really good when the tank is full. And there it goes, it just burped. And the tank's dropping. The fish in the tank on the right now, they like to play around in that. One thing I do notice though is you have to watch out if you do this. You might want to put a shield or a guard up here, because I have had fish jump out of the tank right here. I don't know if they think it's a stream and they're swimming upstream, but they have jumped out. I lost one fish that way. The other one I found on the floor and he wasn't moving. I resuscitated him by putting him under the water pipe, and he eventually came back to life after about 5 minutes, and he's still in there doing good. And with this thing closed up, it's not that loud. Alright, time for the other video of it sped up.